Dr. Mahathir, you've expedited the investigation into the 1MDB scandal. Where are you in that investigation?
1MDB problem is not just one thing. It's not just about money laundering. It's also about stealing money from 1MDB and all that. So there are many charges that can be preferred against those involved. So one or two of the charges may be ready now to go to the courts, but the others may have to wait a longer time while we collect the documents and evidence of wrongdoings. So this is going to be a long drawn out thing, but it will involve several cases which will be put before the court.
Have you been surprised by the depth and the extent of the 1MDB scandal? Because your advisor has come out to say that there are many 1MDBs.
Yes, I'm very surprised because we knew roughly what happened when we were campaigning. But once we have access to the documents and we have access to the ministries and all that, we are finding a lot of small cases which are no less serious, which we must take action against.
What are some of the cases you'd like to investigate, that you need to investigate?
Need to investigate.
As in the 1MDB, mini 1MDB cases, are there
we have
projects that need to be
several
investigated?
bodies, because it is so wide an area that we have to have several investigators. And this would include the police, the AG, the eminent persons, the MACC, and all these people are investigating. There could be some overlap, but it's all right. We will match them and see whether the evidence they gather are worthwhile and sufficient for us to take them to the courts.
1MDB is also being investigated by other jurisdictions around the world, including Switzerland, Singapore. What have you learned?
We have to contact them.
Have you contacted them?
Yes, we are.
What have you learned from these jurisdictions?
Well, we want to know what they have found out, and we will tell them, give them full cooperation so that they can make the case watertight.
These jurisdictions are also sitting on frozen assets, including the DOJ in the U.S. Do you have an indication of how much assets they're sitting on?
Yeah, they have published figures. We know how much money they have with them, and we claim the money to be ours. Now, the previous government, in order to avoid accusation of some wrongdoing, decided that the money was not theirs. So they are not making any claim. But we know the money is ours, it's from 1MDB. So we are going to make a claim, and we have to prove ownership of the money before we can make a claim.
Give us a rough figure how much you'll be claiming from these jurisdictions.
About 4.5 billion US.
And how about from Goldman Sachs? Because you have suggested that you would like to claw back some of the money they made from the 1MDB case.
Yeah, we will do that.
Will you take legal action?
Well, if there is a case.
Do you think there is a case?
Well, that's for the AG to decide, not me.
How much do you think can be clawed back from Goldman Sachs?
Well, as you know, they were given 10% commission on the money that they raised, which means that the interest rate has gone up because we get 90% of what was borrowed, but we have to pay interest on 100%. So this is not tenable. We cannot accept that kind of thing. And apart from the commission, we also have to pay a very high interest rate, 6% plus. Government normally borrow at about 3% or less.
That doesn't answer the question how much you think you can claw back from Goldman Sachs.
Well, I don't know yet because these are the matters of details. I leave the details to the officers. I know generally what is happening.
When you take a look at how the 1MDB scandal has gone far and wide, what do you think some of the steps that can be put in place to ensure such a scandal does not happen again?
That is very simple. We will not allow borrowings above the ceiling fixed by the government. Even if you set up a company that company must be subject, because the government is going to hold guarantee. So the government is responsible for the loans that they take. And for the government, we have a ceiling. You can't exceed that ceiling. In the case of one MDB, they exceeded the ceiling by about 20 times. You see, that is wrong. We would not allow that anymore.